Completely different weather in Palm Beach, Florida. We know how it feels in West Sacramento as well as Chicago, but our guy Scott Bair, our Bears reporter, he's soaking up the sights and sounds from the NFL owner meetings in lovely Palm Beach, Florida. And Scott, glad to have you on the show. Now, we know that Major League Baseball, they currently have the torpedo bats, and as for the NFL, well, they have the tush push, but both legal for now. So what's the very latest out of Palm Beach, man?
Well, first of all, Cole, just hearing a bunch of old billionaires say the word tush push like 16,000 times over the course of 2 days is naturally funny to me. But ultimately, we're going to hear the term more because they could not come to a decision. They ultimately tabled a ruling on the tush push until May. So it's still technically legal. And just like those torpedo bats, technically within the scope of the rules, so is the tush push. And I had some sources in the room that told me there was a spirited debate on this, really split down the middle. I think that the NFL would rather have the votes to overturn this play, or they want a strong consensus against it. They had neither in the room at the Breakers on Tuesday, and this issue rolls on.
Well, we know that points are put on the board with the tush push, runs are put on the board with the torpedo bats, so we'll hopefully see a whole lot of both. It is a fan favorite coming on down the pipe now. How about the draft? That's April 24th in Green Bay, and we know the Chicago Bears, they have that 10th selection. So which direction are they currently headed in, Scott?
Yeah, Cole, I talked to head coach Ben Johnson and general manager Ryan Poles on Tuesday, and they really have a strategy that encompasses number 10, number 39, 41, and 72. And they believe that they can get impact, maybe not a starter, but impact role players there. But at number 10, everybody keeps thinking offensive lineman or edge rusher. They're at the point from what they've done in free agency and with trades, the way they've bolstered both sides of the line of scrimmage, they can go out there and get a luxury item. And by luxury item, I mean the Boise State running back, Ashton Jeanty, or maybe Penn State tight end, Tyler Warren. Just imagine what an offensive guru like Ben Johnson can do with talents like that.
Absolutely. A whole bunch of excitement for Bears fans. They're excited about the 10th pick, the location of the draft in Green Bay. Maybe not so much, but there is still plenty of excitement right around the corner. It's the Williams and Johnson era. So as we get ready to embark upon 2025's campaign, Scott, what can we expect from Caleb Williams?
Yeah, Ben Johnson talked a lot about his young quarterback, and he's going to ask him to do some different things. He's going to play under center more than he ever has, but he's not going to tear his mechanics down to the studs. But the thing that I liked most is that during this very difficult offseason of transition for Caleb Williams, he's learning a new coach, a new system, and new terminology and new techniques. I loved hearing that Ben Johnson was not rigid, meaning that it's not my way or the highway. If Caleb Williams struggles at something, Ben Johnson has the playbook that's deep enough to find something that fits Caleb Williams' skill sets. That's what you want to hear about in year one as they continue to install and implement Ben Johnson's philosophies on offense and for the entire team. Really encouraging to hear. And I do believe that Ben Johnson, being flexible, can really help maximize Caleb Williams' immense physical gifts.
Absolutely. Flexibility at the head coach position, that goes a long way with a generational type of player, specifically like Caleb Williams. Now, lastly, Kyler Gordon. Fan favorite, and word on the street is that he's in the market for a contract extension. So what are you hearing when it comes to some bucks?
Yeah, so Ryan Poles addressed that earlier on Tuesday, and I asked him specifically, after you spent all this salary cap space on the offensive lineman and on the defensive line in trades, there isn't a lot left for Kyler Gordon. So does that mean a contract extension is on the back burner? And he quickly said, not on the back burner. It's still a priority for this team, and it will be, but the exact timing isn't known. But we've heard defensive coordinator Dennis Allen and head coach Ben Johnson praise Kyler Gordon, and they really have a vision for what he can do in Dennis Allen's defense. This is one of those cornerstone foundational players. I think it may not be tomorrow, it may not be the next day, but ultimately the Bears and Kyler Gordon will find a way to get a contract extension done. I think that says a lot for those in the locker room. If you do well for this organization, we will pay you.
Well, Kyler Gordon looking for an extension on his millionaire status, so maybe one day he can become a billionaire and then go to the NFL order meetings and say, tush push. Scott Bair, Bear Mail with the very latest. Scott, thanks as always, man.
Thanks, Cole.